Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. Recently, Andrew Wilson was on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about conspiracies and everything that's going on in the world and so on and so forth. And of course, if you talk about conspiracies, if you say conspiracies 3 times, you know whose name's going to pop up. That's right, Candace Owens. So Andrew Wilson explained to Joe what's been going on with Candace and how he's placed a bet out there and an offer rather to debate her. And they talk about it. I thought it was super interesting because we have some follow-up. So let's bring this in. Let's go.
Dinosaurs aren't real one. That one's great.
But have you noticed, like, the flat earthers have fleets of people who will debate their stances? Like, fleets of them who are like, we can't wait to debate with you on the flat earth. It's like, on the other side, though, in this particular conspiracy, you can't get these people to debate their positions.
Like, who won't debate their positions?
We offered Candace Owens, I offered her $300,000 to do a debate. Wow. We're like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to murder Charlie.
Based on what?
Well, that's the $1 million question. Nobody asked.
That's it right there. And even if you are a Candace supporter, tell me what it is that she's using. What is her evidence to that point? What is the evidence that she's presented to the point that Israel worked with Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and all these other people to do away with Charlie Kirk? What is her evidence to that? That's the point that Andrew's making, and many people have made. So shout out to Andrew for this.
Actually, no, she's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel ever worked to murder Kirk, that Erica Kirk certainly didn't. In fact, her position for the longest time was if Erica Kirk comes out and tells me to stop this, to stop the conspiracy on this, I will. So Erica did. She went out publicly and she was like, enough. You're just causing more problems than good here as this investigation's going on. And then suddenly Erica's now part of the conspiracy. By the next day, she's trying to cover it up. She's part of the conspiracy too. When I went to the TPUSA HQ and I talked to Erica briefly while I was there, the first thing I did was what I think every normal, moral human being would ever do. I gave her a hug. And I told her how god-awful sorry I was that happened to her. Like, could you even imagine how that's got to feel for her? Especially now that she has tens of thousands of people accusing her of murdering and conspiring to murder and then cover up what happened to her own. I mean, that's like mind-boggling psychological torture on a level that I've never seen.
Yeah. And
let's also just add that there's no proof to those claims. It's not just that they're making these claims, but they're baseless, whole fiction, fan fiction narratives that have no basis whatsoever. There's no evidence at all. If it is, prove it. Just because she doesn't cry, just because she came out with sparklers, just because you don't like the way she smiles, those are not reasons that somebody's deleted their husband. Just where's the evidence? That's all Andrew's been asking for, but let's go.
Hindsight is 20/20, but given the reaction, I think it probably would have been better for her to like lay low for a little while.
1000%.
The going out with the sparklers was not a great idea. Like, all that was not a great idea because it just seemed insane. And maybe sometimes in grief or when, you're trying to show that they're not going to hold us back, people make choices that could be interpreted in a very bad way.
100%. The interesting thing is I asked her about that. I asked her, like, what's the deal there?
What's with the sparklers?
Well, what's with the aberration in behavior? And she's like, look, I was put in like the worst spot I could ever think of. I was the background character. I was just there to support my husband. That's it. The only reason I even really got involved is because Charlie was so pro-marriage, and he wanted to demonstrate to the world you can be married and have kids, and this is the good life. So when he dies, she takes over, right? This moves over to her control. She says, well, the first thing I want to do is honor his last book. That's the very first thing I want to do. I want to honor his legacy. And she's like, I don't know exactly how to take this position. At the same time, there's expectations for the organization my husband built that I want to honor, right? But, I'm also in the middle of grief. And it's like, I don't know how you balance that position. Who's been in that position ever?
Right. And especially who's been in that position that's not accustomed to being scrutinized in the public eye.
Everything. And it's the lack of charitability that's so bad too. Like, let me give you an
Very
example. If you say, Paul's so lazy, he never gets to work on time. You don't actually mean Paul has never once gotten to work on time. That's not what people mean.
Right.
But the way that these people will scrutinize every detail of what a person does, they can make a liar out of anybody. Because they'll take statements like that, which in the common terms, if you say, man, Paul's never here on time.
Never on time.
You don't
Right.
literally mean he's never here on time. Nobody talks that way. But if you push on everything a person's ever said, tongue-in-cheek, not tongue-in-cheek, they misremember an event, they don't misremember an event, you can make a liar out of anybody.
Right. Yeah.
And that sort of scrutiny from all that public trauma, and it was the most traumatic event Zoomers have ever gone through. The biggest, a public assassination like this, same thing with millennials.
It also exposed people's character that they were celebrating it.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to feel bad about that. They can't feel good
I
about
hope they do.
And they have to feel bad about the response because so many people got fired because of it and so many people got attacked online, and rightly so.
But they were
It's just a
desecrating his
cruel-
memorial, and leftists were celebrating that. They were saying they were going to give the guy money who did it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew and Joe. I mean, I think he's right on the button. Like, this is a crazy situation. So Joe, or rather Andrew, proposed, hey, $300,000, let's debate. And Candace has shirked off other debates as well. So she can't just say, well, I didn't know who Andrew was. In a moment, we're going to watch. She says she didn't know who Andrew Wilson was. I question whether or not that's true, but that's neither here nor there. That's not the point. But other people have asked to debate her and have put money up, and she's ignored them. And these are well-known people that she knows. So it's not just a matter of, well, I just didn't know him. That's why I shirked him off. But let's hear what Candace had to say. I'll bring her in. Let's go.
Less, like I said, I have a counter offer. He says 300K. Let's make it 500K, right? I just have the hunch, this feeling, gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just, you don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. I mean, not with that smoking habit in today's economy, right? And given the fact that Turning Point USA has raised $40 million in one night off of Charlie's blood, literally encasing his bloody microphone at a fundraiser event so that his grieving widow could be captured by the camera standing next to it, I think 500K feels more appropriate. They want to invest in you. You're their guy. Tell them that's what it costs. What's 500K between old friends, right? Also, my second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant. So if you fancy a debate face-to-face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debates. Don't worry. It will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want. Like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks. As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy, okay? So you're just going to have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home. And this is actually, I would say, the most important part for me. This is what has to happen. Third part here. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case. Okay?
All right. So now we've heard what the esteemed Candace Owens has to say. And Andrew over here on X, Twitter, whatever we want to call it this week, I think we've gotten comfortable calling it X. Let's just call it X like we've been doing. Jason, stop it. All right. So he says this, my counter back. By the way, I don't think her, again, she's traveled before. You can travel. I'm sorry. I think the traveling part is a non-starter. I think she just wants to find some reason to get out of this. But let me explain why. My counter back, 500 is fine. I'll crowdfund it, $1 million actually, so I get 500 as well. Travel there is fine on neutral ground. Can be her studio. That's a ridiculous ask, which I think is very fair. If you want to make this adversarial like this, get a non-partial studio, rent a studio to work from. I suggest Michael Knowles moderate. I don't know about that one. I might have to disagree with you on that one, my guy. We probably both trust him. If not, I am open to someone else, which I think, personally, I don't think Michael Knowles is a good one, but let's keep going. Debate has to be 3.5 hours. I'm wondering why. Now, I think Andrew is in his sweet spot when it's a well-maintained and controlled debate. I just don't know why it has to be 3.5 hours. Why not 4 hours? Why not 2? Why does it have to be 3.5 hours specifically? He's got something up his sleeve, and I'm here for it. With hour-long cross-examinations, that is crazy. What happened? Can you imagine an hour of Candace cross-examining somebody? That's crazy work. She can go first and examine any views of mine and the Kirk assassination, as long as I also get an hour for cross-exam. I think that would be some good TV. I think it would be good. Hey, truth be told, man, I personally think this should be a pay-per-view. I would watch it, and you would make all your money back in spades. Let's see. I understand she's pregnant, so if she needs a break after an hour and a half to walk around, that's fine. For $500K, 3.5 hours is plenty reasonable. Lastly, the only stipulation I can't agree with is TPUSA has to claim Andrew thing. That is just requesting we both lie. I don't work for TPUSA and never have. I did one contract work, which is reasonable. Candace has worked with TPUSA. Can she say that she works for them, that she's paid for them, that she's a shield for them? She was under contract as recently as last year. Same thing. I represent myself. This would be like me asking her to claim she's representing Tyler Robinson. She's representing herself. This all seems reasonable, and if real Candace Owens agrees, I'll get to work setting it up. Lastly, I'm obviously not going to be smoking indoors. Deal? I mean, I think this is reasonable. I think this is more than reasonable. Yeah. Wait, what is this right here? I don't know what this is. I'm reading it for the first time. Candace just gave a counteroffer to debate Andrew Wilson and Charlie Kirk. Oh, I just read this. Okay. So yeah, basically 500,000 in person, live stream. We agree, no smoking. Blake Neff, Andrew, or Erica must say Andrew is debating on TPUSA's behalf. Yeah, that's just dumb though. I got a feeling she's gonna find a reason to get out of this. She's gonna find a way out. What do you think? Comment down below. What do you think? Do you think Candace wants to debate Andrew Wilson? Do you think she wants to debate anybody? Anybody? Let's just be honest. Is there anybody she would want to debate and will no money, no shams, no scams? She'll just come and debate. Is there anybody that she would, or do you think she really truly wants to keep hiding behind her phony, false, and fake assertions with no claims, no evidence? Rather, what is it? Tell me what it is. Comment down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and for liking this video and subscribing, helping us get to our goal of 100,000 subscribers. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you all real soon. So until then, everybody, grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.